In its bid to make sure that Nigerians that are not connected to the national grid get power for their day-to-day activities, the federal government has flagged off the distribution of 20,000 solar-powered lighting systems in rural communities in Nigeria. Acting President Yemi Osinbajo, who flagged off the program at Wuna Village, a rural community in Gwagwalada Area Council, a suburb of Abuja, with the distribution of 200 units to the villagers in the first phase, said, irrespective of the importance of power to national development, it was not feasible for every Nigerian to tap from the national grid.
I think that the people of this village are representative in many ways of what we see all over Nigeria. Very hardworking, very serious-minded, very committed to their country and to their communities, but lacking in some very important tools for work, lacking in very important facilities to make life easier for themselves. That we expect that this will be replicated all over Nigeria, We're starting with 20,000, but I'm sure that we'll ramp up very quickly. We've been talking to the private sector about involving themselves also in this project. We think that as solar power becomes cheaper, and it is becoming cheaper really practically day by day, we'll be able to afford to do even more, to deploy more across the country, especially to those places that are not at the moment served by our grid. The grid is just one, the grid is one, if you like, transmission center. But we cannot take all our power from the grid. And so in the next few years, it will not be absolutely important for you to be connected to the grid, because we will be deploying every type of off-grid solution that we can deploy.
In their separate reactions, the Managing Director of Niger Delta Power Holding Company of Nigeria, Mr. Chiedu Ugbo, and the Chief Executive Officer of Azuri Technologies, Mr. Christopher Bransfield, this presidential initiative to rural electrification, when fully implemented, will bring succor to an estimated 70 million households in Nigeria that are yet to be connected to the national grid.
This project is anchored on the presidential initiative on rural solar home lighting systems aimed at extending power to rural communities across the country where there is no form of access at all to the electricity from the grid. Whenever any unit of the power plant is available, only Nigerians with access to the grid could enjoy the electricity so generated. However, there are many Nigerians, estimated as 70 million, like the inhabitants of Wuna village, without any connection to the grid, who still rely on rudimentary lighting systems characterized mainly by use of kerosene lamps, candles, and petrol generators with attendant health and safety risks and indeed financial challenges. By the Solar Home System Initiative being launched by Excellency today, NDPSC will be actively involved in the process of bringing power to these rural communities, thereby stimulating social and economic activities in the communities that are located off-grid.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all know the importance of energy. It's the thing that makes the world progress. It brings the sun out at night. It allows us to talk to people wherever they are and benefit from entertainment, information, and education. But historically, electricity has been for people in cities. Now, with the development of solar power, it's possible to get energy anywhere. It doesn't need to be fed with fuel every day. It just depends on the sun. And that's something we can truly rely on. In fact, solar power in rural communities has an immediate impact. On average, children spend up to 2 hours extra per night on their studies. It's quite normal for children to go from mid-place in their class to top of their class in just a few months, simply because they're doing that much extra work. And families often use this extra time in the evenings to increase their incomes. Shopkeepers are able to keep their stores open for longer. Farmers can process crops in the evening and be first to market in the morning. Everyone can keep their phone on all the time without having to worry about the cost of charging them up. And families can listen to the radio all day without having to buy batteries.
The power system fell in line with government's objective of increasing energy production from renewable energy sources from 13% of total electricity generation in 2015 to 23% in 2025 and 36% in 2030, including the goal to increase the percentage contribution of solar energy in the total energy mix. This particular one by Azuri Technologies in conjunction with the Niger Delta Power Holding Company of Nigeria has the capacity to provide energy to power at least 4 LED light bulbs, mobile phones, radio, irrigation facilities, borehole system, amongst others. Acting President Yemi Osinbajo also used the medium to relate with pupils of LEA Primary School, Wuna Village, who are one of the beneficiaries of the solar power system. High point was the official flagging off of the program by the acting president. From Abuja, I am Festus Ejiroge Nefifen for Ben Television.
The Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Okechukwu Enelama, says the national trade policy is currently undergoing consultation with trade experts. For over 15 years, Nigeria has been unable to come out with a trade which analysts say was prepared by Nigerians. Enelama said the consultation started last year, 2016, and will be concluded by the end of this 2017. The minister, who disclosed this to journalists at this year's maiden press briefing in Abuja, said multiple stakeholders in the economy has been engaged to help prepare a good policy.
In the economy, to get their input on how the trade policy is working for them, involves engaging trade experts to advise you. We have a number of trade experts, professors of trade and economics who understand this area very well, consulting for us. You engage the international agencies on trade, typically the World Trade Organization, and of course then the trade department with the trade advisor and negotiator then help us to prepare the technical materials, which will ultimately be, that's where we are. That process will be finished this year. It was started last year, and where we are now is that that consultation is going on, and we expect to wrap it up hopefully before the first half of the year.
Aside the 3 major sugar producers, which include Dangote, Bua and flour mills, which have already made commitment, the minister said more sugar producing companies will add it to the number to be able to achieve the 1.4 million tons of sugar a year target.
The 3 biggest players in it, the other players I want to come in or that are in smaller measure, are Dangote, flour mills and Bua. Those are the biggest industrialists that are in it, because it's also very capital intensive. It involves billions of naira to actually set up the plants to process the sugar locally. And those are the 3 that have made commitment, and they form part of what the Sugar Council committee that watches are now. But there are a number of other players that are coming in. Our target is, of course, to keep adding to that number until we get to self-sufficiency.
On her part, Minister of State Aisha Bubakar decried the complex situation facing the country's textile industry. She said textile producers have been unable to produce due to inadequate cotton. She added that the Ministry of Agriculture have been engaged to supply farmers with cotton seed for farming.
We've been trying to discuss and liaise with the customs, and we're very happy with the improvement. Even the textile manufacturers will tell you that. But what is now coming out is the entire value chain, the issue of cotton. We don't have enough cotton for them to also produce. So again, we're engaging the Ministry of Agriculture, and February, I understand, is the month where they start to plant cotton. So we're hoping that we'll be able to get some seeds to ensure that the farmers farm enough cotton for the textile industries to be able to acquire some, so the ginneries and the spinners can all take off and do that. And then the next arm of that is also the garmenting aspect of it, which some of the special economic zones are going to cater for, and then we're also going to see what we can do so that the fabric is used more often. To that extent also, we're trying to see how many times a week that we can now be encouraged to wear the made in Nigeria. This is also for them to be able to produce more because their materials are being bought.
Awesome Raffle, Ben Television.
Hi, Mike.
Babe, it's been over 12 hours. Are you done thinking about it? Is he yes?
Convince me.
I know how much confidence style mean to you. Let me take you somewhere.
What's that?
A superior leading international hospitality chain in the heart of Africa.
And?
They offer very distinct services. Their meeting halls and all their hotels offer conference solutions that can help plan a perfect function for any occasion. They feature outdoor catering and provide services for any size event.
Keep going. You got me thinking now.
The beauty, the decor, and the views. It's the hotel experience you always dreamed of. They have up-to-date entertainment and a variety served at the fast food restaurant and snack bar. Oh, and don't even get me started on the garden bar or the nightclub. You would have everything you need within your reach without having to go out.
Wow. So what if I want to...
Cook? They got you, babe. The rooms are thoughtfully furnished with facilities that aid proper cooking, just like you would at home.
Where is this place?
And it's Sweets.
Wow.
So, will you marry me?
Yes. How can I refuse?
Not at Sweets, a colorful affair.
The Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics, ASUP, has embarked on a one-week morning strike over government failure to implement the needs assessment report of July 2014. The union president, Usman Duse, who addressed journalists in Abuja, said there will be no academic and administrative activities in any public polytechnic between 30th January and 6th February 2017. Comrade Duse said the union has directed its members in all public polytechnics across the nation to ensure total compliance. He explained that the union had on different occasions in July and November 2016 communicated the decision of its NEC to withdraw the services of its member if a number of issues identified as undermining the sector are not addressed. Other issues the union talked about are victimization of union officials, non-release of unions check-off dues, and interference in union activities, and many more.